Hello everyone, welcome to another PixelPlayers discussion. We're here to talk about the newly revealed Nintendo Switch today, formerly known as the NX. I'm Adam.
I'm Sam, hello.
Yes, and Sam, we very recently podcasted, we're back after a very small hiatus, isn't that
Yeah,
right?
I mean, we have a really good schedule. I think we're gonna go daily soon, actually.
Yeah, daily, now that we're just ramping it up is the thing, because we only get even more recent, I think is what it is, right? Like how ours was only a few days ago, right?
Yeah, I think 12 hours ago, maybe?
Yeah, that sounds right. Nah, it actually doesn't, because we're terrible. Anyway,
Yeah.
we are back with some huge news, because, to be completely honest, we haven't had that much to talk about in terms of Nintendo, specifically at least. What was the biggest thing before this announcement, Sam?
The mini NES.
Yes, the most...
Was that it?
Yeah.
Wait, no,
Yeah.
that was the Direct. They had the Direct in, the 3DS one.
They had... Oh, yeah, that's right. What was, the most notable game in that?
That terrible-looking Pikmin 3DS game.
Yeah, okay, so I guess you answered your own question right there. I mean, let's be honest, the Nintendo 3DS is, just like the Wii U, kind of on its way out. They're preparing for the Pokemon launch, which is going to be, really big. But besides that, I mean...
Actually, Nintendo
know.
have confirmed they're going to be making games for the 3DS until 2018.
Yeah, I mean, they were making the Wii U, games until, this year, but how many games do they put out? 2?
Well, yeah,
That's
but
a very
we know,
vague
we know,
statement.
5 3DS games coming out next year. There's that
Oh.
Woolly World and the Mario Sports game and stuff. There are games.
Yeah, I mean, that's cool, just, porting over a Wii U game over, it's, they could do that. That's, the Poochie version, right?
Yeah, that
Just shove
so
Poochie in
bad.
there. Yeah, I don't even... You know what? That just writes itself. I don't even have to make fun of it. We're here to talk about the Nintendo Switch, Sam. And going into this, to be completely honest, I was not having the highest expectations at all. Given, recent Nintendo history, I feel like it's been letdown after letdown to an extent. But I'm happy to say that I was actually pretty impressed.
Yeah, I mean, for the most part, I think it's definitely, a really great announcement. I'm more excited for it than I was the Wii U. But I think, in terms
Oh
of
my
being...
god, yeah.
yeah, but in terms of being, hyped for it, I have to say I might be at an all-time low. I think I'm burnt out. That's, my biggest problem with this console right now. I don't really care. It's oh, hey, here's the Switch. I'm like, oh, it looks great. That's kind of it.
Yeah, that's really fair, honestly, because it's not... I think the idea is, really innovative. The fact that it's kind of a portable and a console hybrid. And I think that they can do a lot with that. They're obviously... Okay, they're not really integrating that into the gameplay, though. They've come out and actually said that it's a single-screen experience. They're not doing...
which is great.
Yeah, a Mario Maker-esque, or they're not using the gamepad as, part of the gameplay. It's really just more... it's a way of bringing your games to places you couldn't play them before, but it's not actually changing the gameplay. And that's a change. That's actually a change from the Wii U that I don't mind. I'm just curious how they're going to implement those ports of previously existing Wii U titles, because, it's reliant on that second screen.
Well, I mean, I don't think Splatoon is, necessarily. I think they could easily just make it so you jump to the players with the say, the...
Like a trigger button. Yeah.
Yeah, or the D-pad, right? But I don't think the touchscreen is necessarily essential. Although the map maybe, because you could look at it and see how much of the map has been covered by the team. So I don't know. I mean, I think it'll make it more exciting. I think actually.
Yeah, I think a game like Splatoon really benefited from the second screen, but a game like Super Mario Maker needs the second screen. That's the difference.
Why?
Why? Are you being serious, or?
Yeah, no. Why? What?
Why does Super Mario Maker need the second screen?
Yeah, why?
Because you need to build a level. You need to. I mean,
But
I guess
no,
you
but,
could.
It's touchscreen, so you could just do it on the portable thing, and then you could just hook it up to the console. It's still a touchscreen.
Oh yeah, you're right. That's a very good point. Wait a second. In the actual Wii U title, what do you see on the television then when you're building level? Is it just literally a mirror?
No, it's I think it's a look at the gamepad thing.
Wow. Okay, never mind then. Is this confirmed to be a touchscreen?
Yeah, it is.
Is it actually... Okay, I did not know that. I thought that was still
Well,
up
I
in the air.
think. Wait, okay, I'm not going to say 100% just because I'm not entirely. I'm pretty sure it is. Yeah, I think it
Yeah.
is. The
It
person
would
in,
be
like,
certainly a weird move to not make the Nintendo Switch a touchscreen. So it does make sense, especially given you have to, like, go through menus and all that.
Yeah, I think it kind of has to be.
Yeah. So let's start off with the exterior, just like seeing the console full out. What do you think of the design and kind of the way it presents itself?
I love it. I think the console, like, that is amazing. I think the console looks great. I'm really excited for it. I think the handheld portion looks awesome, because I'm always going on holidays and stuff, so that's going to be really beneficial for that. But, like, and then the console portion is looking really good. I'm scared that maybe the handheld thing will, like, pull down the performance of it. But,
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah, we'll get into that. I'm just
yeah, but, like,
talking
aesthetically it looks great, yeah.
Okay. Because I actually had a very similar reaction. I was floored when I saw this trailer. I did get up at 7 a.m. my time to watch the trailer with my roommate,
Right.
and we were thrilled. I couldn't believe it. I think, it is revolutionary in kind of a small way, but it still is. It really piqued my interest. Just the whole marketing with that simple logo and just the way it was all presented was really smart.
Yeah.
It's
just
got
like a
great
good
branding.
PS Vita. Really.
Yeah, kind of. It's like a good Wii U, kind of.
Yeah, that's true. Like, that's kind of what I thought the Wii U was going to be when I first saw it. I thought you would be able to take it anywhere, so I mean, I guess this just kind of is what that was.
Yeah, me too. Anyway, so yeah, the console was pretty great, and I was pretty floored with that. But, yeah, I think, like, the idea of having it be a dock where you kind of plug the portable in order to kind of advance the hardware and make it more capable of playing, like, higher definition version of the game. Because we know that the game actually plugs into the portable version, not the dock.
Yeah.
It's a cartridge this time. It's not a disc, which I am very, very, very in favor of because of...
Well, I mean, yeah, they couldn't do discs, right? Like, they would break. Like,
yeah, they would break. I mean, you can fit 1 million games in your pocket now. It can hold just as much information, if not more. It's a very obviously good move. I'm surprised that the Xbox and PS4 did not already do this, to be honest. But,
well, I mean, they opted for, like, the Blu-ray discs. I think that's kind of still a good idea. It doesn't work for a portable system at all.
Yeah, yeah, that's true. That's a good point. Especially with something like, that's not portable, like an Xbox. Having discs makes a lot more sense than the NX having it. But with this console, what are your biggest concerns with the fact that it is portable?
The games being too linear. This was my biggest problem with the Wii U in general, was that it was trying to be a, like, big brother to the 3DS, where it would just have really, like, linear games that would be, like, levels would be completable in, like, 3 minutes.
Like a Mario 3D Land as opposed to, like, a Mario 64.
Oh my god, yeah.
Yeah.
Like, if they do that, if they go the route, and like Luigi's Mansion 2, stuff like that, where they strip everything and make it so linear, if they do that again with the NX, I'm gonna be kind of annoyed, because that's not what I want, especially for a console, because I'm probably gonna use this more as a console than a handheld. So, I mean, if they do make everything, like, super linear, I'm gonna be kind of frustrated. And, I mean, they did show Skyrim, so I think that kind of shows, like, that's not the direction they're going in, but...
I think they have plenty of information that it's certainly not the direction that it's going in, and we could tackle that in a minute. But for me, in terms of the hardware specifically, I'm really concerned with the battery life of this portable.
Yeah, oh my... Yeah, well, it's 3 hours rumored right now, isn't it?
That's horrendous. I really hope that's not true. If I'm on a plane and I want to dig into some Super Mario Switch...
Well, I mean...
I want to play that
but
for
then
more
you charge
than
it.
3 hours.
But then you just plug it in. I mean, I don't think that's a problem. I think it's just more so going to be a problem for, like, when you're out in, like, the city or something. Like, it's not going to be an issue if you're on the plane, I think, so you can just plug it in. Though, I mean, if you're on the plane...
you can plug it in on a plane?
Well, I mean, planes all have chargers, so I would assume you could just do that. But, like,
Okay.
Yeah, that's been a thing for quite a while. But, like, but if that's... Now that I'm thinking about it, there hasn't been a specific charger shown off for the gamepad yet, is there? It's only, like, for the console. You plug it into the console, and that's what charges it. I sincerely hope that's...
I am absolutely sure they're going to provide, like, a cable that you can plug it in.
Yeah,
I'm not
if they
worried
don't,
about that.
that's gonna be terrible.
They don't, they're literally morons. I think included in the package, I believe, I don't know this for certain, but it's going to be the tablet controller, the dock, and the grip thing that you put the Joy-Cons on, I'm assuming.
Mm-hmm.
And that's pretty much going to be it. They're probably going to put a charger in also, like an external charger for
Well, my guess is that it would just be chargeable via USB, right? Because there are USB ports on the console, so I mean,
Yeah,
and we haven't
so.
seen the bottom of the handheld, so I assume it would be like a mini USB charger.
For sure. I'm also,
I hope
besides
so.
the battery life, very curious about, like, how this screen looks, what the frame rate of the games is going to be. Like,
Zelda.
Is it still going to be 60? Like, we don't know any of this information.
Did you see that? Did you see in the trailer, like, the Zelda frame rate?
People were complaining about the Zelda frame rate. I'm not going to judge it based on the fact that it's just a trailer, but that's a concern. I mean, if I'm playing Zelda on a portable, like, that's great, but if it's 10 frames per second, why would I want to ruin that experience if I could play it on the TV?
Well, no, but you know what's weird, though? They've confirmed that the footage that is on, like, in the entire trailer, like, the actors have confirmed that it was, like, the footage was put on after. So that means they showed bad footage on the controller, that they edited that on. Why did they do that?
That's pretty unbelievable. I think, honestly, this is kind of scaring me now, because if that's the case, then they probably had some legal obligation to include, like, legitimate footage.
Right, but I mean, Mario Kart 8's running perfectly. Like, that's running great.
Wait, on the TV, or what?
Oh, no, because they're in the car playing it, and it's running perfectly.
Oh, do you mean Mario Kart?
Yeah, in Mario Kart,
yeah. Mario Kart looked fantastic. Zelda looked kind of garbage.
Yeah, Zelda looked terrible.
It did look a little laggy. I'm not going to judge it immediately, but going into it, the biggest things for me, the battery life of this portable, the screen, just how it looks, and the frame rate of the games. Those are the three big ones for me.
Yeah, I mean, my biggest problem is actually in regards to the joysticks. I'm kind of worried that they're just going to be able to be like popped out when you're just trying to play a game. I'm kind of annoyed that.
Oh, okay.
I'm hoping that's not an issue. I'm hoping there's some kind of button where it releases them and there's no other way they'll come out. But I don't want loose controllers on the side.
Well,
of
also
my
keep
system.
in mind, they have to be, when they were putting them on, they go, you hold them on top and you slide them down onto it, right? So unless you, like, do that motion of pulling it and sliding it up, I don't see how it could possibly just come off.
Yeah, but I mean, I don't know, if someone's being aggressive in a game, like in Smash Bros. Or something...
I see what you're saying, and it, like, comes off again somehow. No, that's a concern. You're not wrong. I just don't think it's going to end up being a problem.
Yeah, I don't really think any of these things we've listed are going to be, like, huge problems. I
think the battery life legitimately could.
I mean, if the charger's there, it's not going to be for me. It's only if there's no charger.
We don't know how good this display is going to be, too. It could be a really garbage, like, 480p display for all.
God, if it's not HD, I'm going to be so upset. Because it's also
so
the dimensions of a widescreen. That'd be so awful.
I know, it'd be so annoying. Oh my god. I mean, I don't mean to be rude. I really wouldn't put it past them at this point. But, we'll see.
I would. I think that they've kind of... This shows that they've grown up, I think. The whole trailer screams that they've grown up. So I'm hoping.
The console does look very sleek. It almost looks like an Apple device the way it's presented. And the logo is minimalistic, but it's very nice. And I really like all of the branding. I was very impressed, honestly,
pizza.
With the whole thing.
Yeah, it looks like a pizza. Like a pizza logo.
I can see that, actually. I don't know. I find it sleek looking. I think it's a good
it looks
change
nice
for Nintendo. Certainly better than the Wii U's logo, which was literally the damn name with a U next to it.
That was awful.
Yeah,
can we talk about a big problem, I think?
Yeah, sure, of course.
I am so annoyed that we're getting Mario Kart 8 again.
Okay, yeah, so why don't, this is a good segue. Let's talk about the games that were showed off in this trailer. And let's start off with Mario Kart 8. Okay.
That could not have made me more annoyed. Like, because, like, Mario Kart is, like, this is gonna sound really stupid to most people. Mario Kart is my favorite game in each console. So, like, seeing that I'm gonna get the same one again kind of annoyed me a bit. Because, like, Mario Kart is the game I wait for, and, like, that's, like, the system seller for me. I know most people at Smash Bros. And stuff. That's Mario Kart for me. So the fact that is just the same game I bought in 2014 with King Boo, I'm not impressed right now. And, I don't know.
Here's the thing for me, right? I see that. It looks exactly like Mario Kart 8. It very clearly is running the Mario Kart 8 engine. And I believe that the map they were playing in the trailer was like a Yoshi course that was like DLC, I think.
Yeah, it was in the egg
Yeah.
cup.
We don't fully know if this is Mario Kart 8. It looks exactly like Mario Kart 8. I think the visuals in that game are gorgeous. They don't really need to be changed. Like, I don't need a new engine specifically.
Right,
for
yeah.
Mario Kart.
I mean, it's just kind of weird, I think.
It is
the fact that
weird.
they're also playing on the same track annoys me. I think if they had shown off maybe even just like a different stage, like maybe like a remade like Wario Colosseum, that probably would have made me go like, oh, great.
Yeah. And, I don't really know what they're doing, because it definitely isn't Mario Kart 8. You're able to hold 2 items, which means that's an active gameplay change. Like, that's not, you know what I mean? It's not an extra mode. They're not going to make a whole mode for that. It's very clearly a change in the gameplay.
Weird. Yeah, because
Very
does that mean
clearly.
hypothetically you could hold 3 items?
I don't think so, but I think that this is somewhat a new Mario Kart game. I don't think this is going to be a simple port of Mario Kart 8. I think it's going to be a lot of new content that maybe we're not even expecting.
I would have totally agreed with you if they didn't show off Yoshi Circuit.
That's fair.
That's the 4th time the stage has been in a game now.
Here's a question, right? Isn't that stage from Double Dash?
Yeah, it's from and DS and 8.
Okay, but it premiered in Double Dash, right? This course.
Yeah.
Okay. And in Double Dash, you were able to hold 2 items at once, right?
I'm not buying into that at all.
This is kind of a weird parallel. Do you think,
Everyone's saying
Do you think,
this.
Sam, that we're going to see Mario Kart 8 Double Dash?
I am not going to disappoint myself, because Double Dash is my favorite game of all time.
Okay,
I'm not going to disappoint myself. Because I know 100% that's not going to be the thing. It's not it.
Here's the thing, right? And I'm not saying they're going to do it, because I don't think that they're smart enough to do that. No offense, but I don't. But like, it would be the perfect move, because they're selling this console as like a local multiplayer experience with the Joy-Cons, how, it's in your pocket, local multiplayer wherever you go. Having Double Dash would be perfect for that, because it's 2 people looking at the same screen. One person can drive, one person can shoot items.
Oh yeah, I think it's a great idea. Just from what they've shown, I just don't think that's what it is. Like,
I think, and wasn't King Boo in Double Dash too?
Yeah, but he was also in Wii.
But he premiered in Double Dash, right?
I guess. I mean,
was
but then
there
you could
any
also...
character in Double Dash that wasn't in Wii?
Petey Piranha.
Oh, okay.
And Paratrooper.
I think that this is very subtle. Maybe it won't be Double Dash, but I think they're brewing something. I don't know what it is, but I feel like something's coming for Mario Kart.
I mean, I wouldn't be
think it's
surprised
Mario
if
Kart
this
8.
is like perhaps a Mario Kart All-Stars or something, and they've like taken the 8 engine and they're just picking the best courses of the whole series. That would be cool. I would be totally on board with that, and they pick like the best characters and stuff. I would be all for that. But
This is kind of a random segue, but I would really like an all-cup tour mode back. I love that. I know
that was like my favorite thing.
It was. I mean, it's like such a waste of time. It's like an hour to do it, but like, I would love it.
I mean, yeah, it'd be a lot of fun to play on like online as well.
Oh my god, can you imagine? Oh my god,
so many people just
the
wouldn't be able to get to the whole
bandwidth.
thing.
Oh my god.
But I think with that, if they were to do it, say they kept the 32 stage thing, which I don't think they're going to do with this one at least. They could do like an all-star for the news and then an all-star for like the retros. That's like something I really want. I would love that.
Yeah, that'd be phenomenal.
You could not do an all-star cup with like the 40 you have in Mario Kart 8 right now.
Yeah, no way. So I'm really excited to see what comes of Mario Kart. They showed King Boo. They showed this new item mechanic that they have going on. I don't know what it means, but all we know is that something's going to change. And we're going to probably find that out sooner rather than later.
Yeah.
But moving on from
right
Mario
now I'm
Kart.
disappointed with it, but I think it looks good. So
Yeah.
I'll buy it anyway.
Yeah. Well, I do. Well, okay, let's move on from Mario Kart. Because you were talking before about how you're afraid that Nintendo is kind of going in the direction, perhaps, of sticking to more linear gameplay with this console.
Mm-hmm.
And I do not think that's the case, given what we're seeing. Because we're seeing Zelda Breath of the Wild, which is the largest Zelda game ever. The most expansive world ever in Zelda.
Which was also made for the Wii U.
Yes, it was. But now that, it's kind of come out that it was kind of the whole time being planned for the NX as well, it does kind of make you think. Especially,
But that wasn't. It was going to come out in 2014, and it got delayed, and then it was added for NX.
Right, but I think we know why it got delayed.
I guess.
They wanted to expand
I think
the
it's just
gameplay.
because it looked kind of bad in 2014.
But even putting... Yeah, I don't disagree with that. But putting away Zelda, right? Even disregarding it. They have Skyrim in that trailer, which is a massive game. And we have this new... Well, we'll get into it in a little bit. This new Mario game, which is giving me vibes of not 3D World. So...
Skyrim, port of a last-gen game, so whatever. But with Mario...
Isn't it like an HD remake, though? Or of some kind?
There's a remake right now, but we don't know if that version is the one that was on the Switch.
Oh, it's gotta be. It's gotta be, right? Like, they couldn't be that dumb to port, like, a bad version when a HD remake is coming out.
The only thing about the remake, though, is that the graphics are just enhanced, so it'd really just be a case of if the Switch can handle it. But either way, I mean, Skyrim's not even confirmed for it. They haven't even confirmed Skyrim's coming to the Switch. That's just like a maybe. But with
That's ridiculous.
Mario,
It was in the trailer. That's false advertising. If it's not, then Nintendo and this company should be held liable for false advertising. That's absurd.
I'm willing to bet that they're just saying, "Oh, it's not confirmed," so then people will still buy the PS4 or Xbox One versions now. But anyway, Mario, I think it could very well be linear. It could very well be. That did not look like an explorable level. Maybe the Spanish, like what is it? The Day of the Dead. That level looked like it could be. The Ruins one was not. That was a path. That was a straight path.
Here's the thing. I think that this is going to be a lot more like Super Mario 64 than any other game. I think it could be kind of like a combination game where it's sort of like Galaxy and sort of like 3D
I'm
Land.
assuming Galaxy. It's like big, fun worlds, but they still are linear. Whereas not 3D Land's crappy block design. That was garbage. But
I don't think it was garbage, but I prefer Galaxy.
Okay, well, it was. But anyway, yeah, it's Galaxy.
Yeah, we kind of have this long-lasting argument. I personally enjoyed 3D World. I thought 3D Land was okay. And Sam absolutely despises 3D World. But,
I like 3D Land. 3D Land's a good game.
Here's the thing. I don't want to go all game explain and fully analyze this footage 100%. But here's the thing. He was doing the triple jump, which means something's changed. That's a 3D Mario platformer, like a wide-scale game. That's a staple. He didn't do that in 3D World.
That was in Galaxy, though. I'm assuming it's going to be linear like
I consider Galaxy a full, expansive 3D Mario.
Okay, yeah, well, I mean, I think the thing with Galaxy is that it still is a big game, but you're following a direct path. You're not exploring. It feels like you're exploring, but it is a path from A to B.
I can see that.
I think that's what this game is.
Galaxy,
I think it's going to be somewhat open, but it is a path. That's what I'm assuming. It was
a path, but it was kind of like Mario 64 and Sword of Sunshine to an extent, where you go into the same level to do very specific tasks, and they're all different within this world. You know what I mean? So, you go to complete a level,
I can kind of agree with
to
64. I wouldn't agree with Sunshine. It doesn't look like Sunshine.
Yeah, that's why I said Sunshine to an extent.
Yeah, because Sunshine was huge. This is not
Sunshine's
huge.
my least favorite Mario 3D platformer.
Yeah,
which I know.
It's my favorite one.
You know, Sam, whatever. I know we don't agree. But, they had the hearts just like Super Mario 64.
Yeah, and that's promising.
Very
I'm
promising.
so glad that it's not...
That's gotta mean a health meter's coming back. To an extent.
Yeah,
we're not gonna have big Mario, small Mario.
Thank God, I hated that small Mario mechanic. It was cool when they showed it off originally with 3D Land, but after a second I was like, don't want that. Don't want it again.
Yeah.
And power-ups in 3D space are so boring, so I don't want that. Just keep it 64 style, I'm good. I think it's Galaxy. I think it's like Galaxy. There's people assuming it's like a Super Mario universe. I don't even know what that means. I'm assuming...
it's gonna be... I don't think it's gonna be Galaxy. But I do think
I don't think it's not Galaxy.
Gameplay-wise, a combination of Mario 64 and maybe a Mario Galaxy 3D World, a little bit more linear. But I think it's going to be more in line with Mario 64 than anything else, given the fact that we've seen the heart, we've seen, the town kind of level with, people that you can talk to that aren't attacking you. There's a sign, things look like they used to a little bit.
To be fair, I mean, that's more like Sunshine than 64. The town.
Well, I mean, 64, yeah, that's true, but I mean, 64 still did have people that you go up and talk to. You could go and read signs, you can go around a town.
Signs and toads.
Yeah, well, there was toads, but there was also, the big Koopa guy, right, that you talked to?
That's true, Koopa the Quick. I will say though, the thing that really made me excited in this trailer...
Yeah, and the penguin, the fat penguin, too. You go and talk to her, too.
Oh, yeah, I love that guy. Anyway, I am so happy that we've seen a character that's not a toad!
I know!
It's not a toad!
Maybe that's where they all were, right? Like, maybe that's, like, the plot of Paper Mario, right? Is that, like, everyone else besides toads went to this game.
Jeez.
Maybe that's, like, the plot of this game. Maybe all the toads are gone and Mario has to save them all. From the paper.
There's a lot of people saying that this looks like a tech demo. I think it's a final game.
I think it's a final game.
It's relying on this ice theme. Yeah, it looks too finished.
They put it in the trailer, which is kind of alluding to the fact that it might be a launch title. And if that's the case, not only does it have to be done by the launch, they have to market this game. They have to get it out there. So this thing has got to be close to completion. Even with the tech demo, it seems very specific in terms of different things. In both shots, we kind of saw, like, a frozen, crystal-y ice kind of aesthetic. Why would they bother, like, building up this weird aesthetic just for a tech demo? It doesn't make any sense. I think this is definitely going to be the new 3D Mario, and I'm going to go out, balls to the wall, and say that it's a launch title.
I mean, I am also in the camp of thinking it will be a launch title if it exists. Or a summer game. It won't be Christmas, I don't think. I think that'd be a bad idea.
Yeah, I agree.
If this is a launch title... If this is launch, this will be the first launch since this Nintendo 64 that has, like, a proper Mario game at launch. Like, GameCube had Luigi's Mansion, Wii had nothing, and then the Wii U had New Super Mario Bros. U. So, speaking of which, I mean, do you think we're going to get one of those?
No, I don't. And I think that they're not going to do it, at least the first year, immediately, to make a statement of what this console is. I think making that game would make people angry, and it would also oversaturate kind of Mario going into this. That's a good point.
Launch. Yeah. Although we've already seen 3 Mario games for this
exactly
Switch.
Because we're seeing this Mario Kart 8.5 or whatever they're making, this new expansive 3D Mario game. There's rumors that we're going to have a port of like other Mario games, like Mario Maker. We're probably going to get
Luigi's
Paper Mario
Mansion
as well.
3, yeah.
Luigi's Mansion 3. So, I mean, that's a lot of Mario, and to throw another one in at launch seems, like, ridiculous to me.
I'm going to throw this out there. I think that New Super Mario Bros. Is going to come back as an eShop game. I think it's going to be an eShop series.
I do not think so.
Downloadable title.
I mean, that's a bold statement. I don't think so. But
I would be... Well, I mean, I love New Super Mario Bros., so I really hope it stays alive. Maybe not in the same form it is, maybe a little bit different. Kind of going in like the Mario Land type of style, because they need to change it up after Mario Maker. But I do hope that series stays alive, because I do like them. Except
look, I know it gets a lot of hate, but I'm with you. Like, Super Mario Bros. U, I thought was a great game. I had a lot of fun playing it, and the multiplayer is, like, ridiculous. It's so fun.
Yeah, so Luigi U was a bit disappointing, and I didn't like New Super Mario Bros. 2, but, like, the rest of them are all great. The first one...
Luigi U was a money grab.
It was too easy.
A la the entire console itself. And this is coming from me. So that's a pretty big statement.
Okay, anyway, let's move on from Mario, I think. Do you have anything else to say?
I think overall, because we kind of covered, like, the bulk of the... Is there any game that, like, we covered that's super important to talk about?
I think Splatoon for a little bit. I just think...
Okay.
I think the controlling... I think everyone's saying, oh, since Splatoon is on it, it must have a gyroscope. I don't think that's the case. I think they're going to go as cheap as they can, so they're going to get rid of things like that. They don't need the gyroscope. How many games do you use the motion control for?
Oh, like, I use the motion controls for Splatoon.
Right, okay. One game? What else?
That's it.
Yeah. Why would they invest money into making this machine more expensive for one game?
That is very fair.
And what else did you use it for? Like Star Fox Zero? Like, no one wanted it.
Oh, you mean the game I didn't buy? No, actually.
Yeah, like, no, like, I actually loved Star Fox Zero, but the controls were so awful. But like, if they didn't have that, then we wouldn't have gotten that mess. So maybe they'll get rid of the gyroscope, hopefully. I don't think I need it. I don't want it. I play Splatoon with the controller. I don't play it with motion controls. So, if there's no motion controls, I'm not affected by this. I do feel bad for the people who play Splatoon with motion controls if it's gone. But it will not affect me, personally. And I think it's going to be gone just because I think it's a cost-efficient, like, thing. Maybe it'll be in, like, a further update. I think it's going to be gone for the initial release. Just because they want to make it as cheap as possible.
Yeah, I think that's actually a good move on their part, because given what the console is, you know, it's this tablet controller, it has removable controllers on the sides that also are motion controllers that need to be charged, and there's so much stuff. It could get really expensive, and I think they do need to make sure that they cut down on the costs for this. So I think that's a good move.
Anyway, so yeah, what did
the
you want
good
to
news though about it
games?
is that with the Wii U, and sorry for cutting you off, but with the Wii U, you know, you're investing in this huge expensive controller, but also an entire console. Whereas this, that is the console, and then the dock is just to like support it. It's not really an entire console. So
I want to know what it is though, because why not just make it an HDMI cord at that point, right? Like I'm confused as to why it is a dock. What does it do?
Oh, it makes sense because the dock is going to have a little bit more RAM, a little bit more hardware power.
How do you know?
Plug it in.
That's
what I'm assuming.
I don't know how that would work though.
I think that it makes sense. Like, if you notice when he put it down in the trailer, it didn't immediately pop up. You know, it took like a second to load to the TV.
Right, but I mean, all the footage was placed in, and none of that was actually there.
Yeah, no, I think they were still trying to explain kind of what it is accurately, and I think that they did that intentionally. I don't know.
I don't know, man.
I do
because,
stand by.
He
this
lifts
is my
it out of
prediction. Yeah, this is my prediction then. I think that this dock is going to have additional hardware power, that when you plug this portable in, it supports it and allows you to play a better version of the game. Essentially.
I think that would be way too expensive.
I don't think so, dude. I really don't. I think that's what it's going to be.
I don't see how they could make it so it just makes the the hardware better. I don't know how that would work. So I think that would mean that they would have to make another, like, just a complete system in that dock, and that would make it so expensive.
I mean, all these game developers are raving about how amazing this tech is, and I think that's part of it. Because not only is it making the games, you know, not only is it supporting the portable more to allow you to play like more high-def games and, you know, more intense games, but it's also charging the Joy-Cons, it's charging the tablet, and it's giving you a connection HDMI to the television, so it's doing all that at once. I think that's part of the reason why this tech is so valuable right now.
Yeah, I'm willing to bet that it's, you know, charging the port, like it's charging the console and the controllers, and it's sending it to the TV and stuff. I don't think it's going to make it more powerful. I don't see how that can be possible, like from a technical standpoint.
No, that's okay. I think somehow it will. That's just my prediction. I could be completely wrong.
I mean, it'd be great if it could. I mean, prove me wrong, Nintendo. I guess. I don't want to be like. I don't want to be overly optimistic here because I'm kind of going in with just like, I'm so stoked for this. I think if the handheld portion of this system is as powerful as the Wii U, I actually don't care. That's all I need. As long as there's good games on it, I actually don't care. So,
yeah. And that's really what it comes down to, because I think this console is going to be good. And we're going to do another podcast soon. We're probably going to talk about more what we want in terms of software for the Wii U, for the Switch, like with menus. This is something we were talking about a long time ago with kind of the online presence of this console. But we can get into that on our next podcast. But I think, yeah, with the hardware, I think they really nailed this idea. As long as everything is executed well. If we get a decent battery life, a good display, making sure that the dock actually supports the games well and the frame rate isn't garbage, little things like that. If they're all bad, it's going to ruin this console. So I think we just need to wait and see.
I want to circle back to my first point just before we end this.
Absolutely.
I wanted to say, I'm still finding it hard to be hyped for this console. I think it took too long. I think 19 months of knowing that the NX existed was too long before we got the Switch. I'm obviously going to buy it at launch, like Nintendo launch days when you buy the console. Like, those are some great days. But like, I don't know. Like, I feel like this is kind of, I'm not in that territory of like, oh yeah, can't wait, like counting down the days. Like with Smash Bros, I counted down the days till the 3DS version.
Oh my god, like, Smash was the most hype I've ever been for a game besides maybe like Brawl.
Yeah, and like I'm not even that like major into Smash, but like I was still super stoked for that game, and I love
the marketing
the 3DS
was
version.
So perfect.
The 3DS version I think is my favorite Smash Bros. But
that's absurd.
Which I know that
I
know you don't agree with that.
Oh my god.
I just love the stages. The stages in that game are great. Anyway, that's not what this discussion is. Like I like counted down the days for things. Even with Color Splash, I was like, okay, October 8 is the release date, cool. And I'll just occasionally go, okay, cool, it's soon, whatever. But like with this, I'm just kind of like, it'll come when it comes, right? I don't know.
Here's the thing. I think that the fact that they waited this long to reveal this console could end up biting them in the butt later, because of just, like, how little time they have to market this thing. And they're already saying, like, we're not going to give out any details until next year. Huh?
Okay, actually, okay. I want to combat both those points, actually.
Okay,
Firstly, I think that them announcing it now is actually a good idea because the general consumers are going to see it and go, wow, that looks cool. And then it's out in a few months. I think for gamers, it's a bit hard because we've been following this for so long, and then there's all these other like things coming out, like PlayStation VR, the Scorpio's coming out. I think it's a bit different for gamers, but for the general consumer, I think it's a terrific idea, especially following the NES Mini. Your other point, how Nintendo said we're not doing things until 2017. That is actually not confirmed. All they've said is that they're revealing more information before March 2017, but they haven't said there's no more information that was just like a spokesman in like a game company. So
okay, well they certainly haven't gone out of their way to disprove that, which leaves me wary. But we'll see. I think they'd have to be a complete idiot.
I don't think there's any reason to
do that.
I think they need to wait till December and like wait till Pokemon's out and then do it. Because if they go, hey, look at all these
then they only have
great new
2
games
months to market this thing, dude. That isn't a lot of time.
I mean, I think it's a terrible idea to bomb Pokemon Sun and Moon sales. Like, if they do a direct and go, look how cool Mario and Zelda look on the NX before Pokemon's out, I think that's a very bad move.
I'm not talking... I'm not talking putting out advertisements showing all these new games out. I'm just talking about basic specs. Like, little things that we can expect from this console.
Yeah,
like,
I
is this display
I agree with
HD?
that. I'm assuming a direct in December. That's what I'm meaning. I'm assuming a direct full of games.
Yeah, I think right after Pokemon, they're probably going to blow it up with all this news. But
yeah, because why not, right?
Yeah, I think it makes sense from a marketing perspective. I think if I were Nintendo, I would launch this console during the summer, not March, so that they have more time to market it. But look, I don't want it to come in summer. I want it to come in March because I want this thing.
Yeah. I mean, no, I think it's actually a good idea because the 3DS... Obviously, it did badly at first, but over the course of that year, it slowly built up. I think that's what they're wanting with this. Because if they drop it in, like, summer, and it does bad, it's a bit hard to recover from that, I think. Like, March gives them three extra months. I think that's a good idea.
That's very true. I do not think Pokemon is going to fail them. I think that they put themselves in a pretty good spot. I think right now what they need to focus on, like you were saying, is getting Pokemon out there. In December, kind of getting this information out there. And they better hope that their information is good and they're not hiding it for a reason. Like, if they're hiding it to help Pokemon, that makes sense. If they're hiding it because the specs are garbage and they just want to get it out quickly and fool as many people as they can, they are in for a world of hurt because it's not going to work. People are not going to get fooled again.
I will say, though, they're doing a pretty good job, I think, Nintendo right now. Like, they released Paper Mario 2 weeks ago. They released Rhythm Heaven like 2 days ago, except if you're in the US, then that's not the case. Then they're releasing Pokemon soon, and then they're doing Mario Maker, then Woolly World, then Mario Sports, then Pikmin. I think they've got a pretty good lineup for people who aren't actually buying the NX or just waiting for the NX. I think they're doing a pretty good job.
I'd agree. I think finally they're actually doing somewhat decent after that. Yeah.
This year's been terrible.
Absolutely garbage.
So bad.
So the fact that they have their lineup now when they should be marketing their NX is absurd.
That's true, yeah. I mean, well, we got Star Fox, we got Mario and Sonic, and we got Paper Mario and Rhythm Heaven.
But guys, what if it gets in the way of Pokemon, guys? Why don't you release Pokemon in June? And then you have
they always release them in November.
But they're only releasing it in November because they have nothing for do you know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah,
they're putting themselves in this position because they have nothing. Pokemon's probably done.
Do you think that they're gonna put the third version of Pokemon Sun and Moon on the NX?
Absolutely not. No.
You think not? I'm thinking no as well. But there have been people who have
they even went out of their way though to say we are only going to put it on handhelds or something.
Right, but I mean the Switch is technically a handheld, I guess. It's both.
The way they said it though seemed like they weren't, but I don't know for a fact.
You're right. I I mean, I think the only reason I'm thinking that is because, like, you know, people have actually hacked the Sun and Moon demos and, like, removed outlines and stuff and shown how it would look in, like, HD. It looks like it would be simple enough. I'm not sure. I know nothing about this stuff, so I can't really comment. But I think if they wanted to, they'd probably do it. I don't think it's going to happen, though.
Yeah, no, I agree with you on that. Okay, so final thoughts coming out of this 3-minute trailer. What do you overall think of this?
40-minute discussion. I think it looks great. I'm buying it day one. I'm a little annoyed about Mario Kart, but I'm sure it'll be great.
Yeah. I'm thrilled. I think the marketing is brilliant. I think the console looks sleek. It looks nice. I think that I'm going to have information on the launch lineup, the price, the specs. I need all this information. But if it's at least decent, I probably will be picking it up on day one. Very excited to see how this all plays out. Guys, thank you. Oh, sorry. You go.
I'm just gonna say, I mean, they could release, like, they could show the the Switch, and then show that their only launch title is Brain Training, and I would probably still buy it on launch day.
No. I am not doing that again. You have to understand, I got the Wii U kind of close to launch, not immediately.
Yeah, same.
I was like, oh my god, I get Mario U, cool! And then I didn't have anything to play for like 2 years. Okay? They need to give me something. I swear to God, if they give me, like, what you're saying, I will not buy it.
Well, I mean, you weren't an early adopter
I had
of the
no
3DS,
problem not buying the 3DS for, like, 2 years.
Yeah, see, I did. I bought it at launch, and then I had no games, but I still bought it.
You got screwed. See, that's their thing. So I'm not going to deal with it again.
I'm going to
give me
admit.
Mario or Zelda. Well, I'm getting Zelda. So that helps immediately.
Oh yeah, that's at launch anyway. Yeah, it's at launch.
Yeah,
so we already know that
fantastic.
the launch lineups. Yeah, that game's gonna be.
But I want something
fun,
else too. I need to have a decent lineup. I'm done with Nintendo's BS with that. 100%.
I kind of think that we need an online game. Like, I want a game I can play with my friends online, like you, like from launch.
Yeah, 100%.
Like, I want to play Mario Kart or Splatoon or something at launch. That'd be great.
100%. And we will talk about all of that in our next podcast when we're going to cover what the Switch needs in terms of software and how it can improve from the Wii U. I believe that will be the topic of our next discussion. But guys, thank you so much for tuning in to this podcast. We really appreciate it. If you like this, please give us a thumbs up, subscribe to our channel. Sam, is there anything you want to say before we head out?
Thanks.
That was beautiful. All right. Well, he said it. He said it perfectly well. Thank you guys. And take care.
Catch you.